Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we're discussing Chidimma dropping out from Miss South Africa and a white person winning Miss South Africa, and what happened on X after, where everybody started talking about xenophobic, we're not supporting ourselves, we're not together. Some South Africans came out to say that we will take anybody as our Miss South Africa except Nigerian, anybody with Nigerian heritage. And I'm wondering, like, who sold us this narrative? Why, even as far as, why should somebody, an African, be applying for visa to go to another African country? Why should we see each other as competition? Africans should realize that they've always been a tool in the scheme of the global polity, in the scheme of global economy, and we are still falling into that trap one way or the other. And from what I saw, I feel like we as Africans need to educate ourselves a whole lot more. Thankfully, I know that some of them will still watch this video. We've gone viral a few times on when we talk about anything relating to South Africa and all of that. So let's use this to, you know, push the narrative of love and going together and the advantages of it. I know you were going to...
Okay, no, I think she should, okay. Because I know that, like, Burna Boy spoke on X, that he just said everybody's laughing about
no,
it.
I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this lady alone. Okay. Of course, we can talk about the lady.
Yes.
I'm talking about generally. Of us seeing. You go to Ghana, some people tell you like, oh, I don't want to do business with Nigerians or Nigerians, yes. Or even somebody just attacking.
But we also need to look inwards, right? Nigerians, we are fast. We're aggressive to a large extent. We're perceived as loud, okay? When someone that hasn't been to Nigeria before, if they just arrive at Lagos Airport, they will have a culture shock. Let's take that. And I love the fact that we're beautiful people, we are loud, we live loudly, we're happy, we're unapologetic. I love that. I'm that way too, right? But then we should also be guided and also try to be, how should I, what am I looking for? Try to be sensitive to how other people are. Ghanaians, for example, are a little bit laid back. They're quiet. They don't like aggression. You might raise your voice and trying to explain something. They just say, oh my goodness, oh my, like, why Niger, you have to raise your voice to make your points. If not, they won't listen to you. So they said when you go to Rome, behave like Romans. So when you're around people, you need to be sensitive of other people, even in terms of doing business, in terms of living, right? And then you should also understand too that when you're big, when you're larger than life, people envy you. There's threat of envy, jealousy. People wonder, like, what the next reaction you get is, who do you think you are? What do you think you are? So Nigerians get that backlash a lot, like, who do you think you are? What do you think you are? Because we love to live life to the fullest. We are loud. When we make money, we're lavish in our spending, in our fashion, in everything. We want to be seen, right? And most times, it makes people uncomfortable. I can remember when I used to live in the UK, and when I was working in the UK, and I used to come to work with a different hairstyle. And then they didn't get it, like I was saying, you're constantly changing your hair. They want consistency. Like if you're using straight hair, let it be straight hair. They want that consistency, that they see it like that. But I'm Nigerian, I'm sorry. A different outfit with a different hair. And I used to wear contact lenses, so different to them. I'm wearing green, I'm wearing purple, and they want like, oh my God, Amaka, you're too much. Like there's just so much. I say I'm Nigerian. That's just who I am. So most times people get uncomfortable with us like that. But we need to understand.
We're not be dulling our shine because we
cannot. But we need to understand that as blacks, like when it comes to history, we've been through a lot. We've been through it. When we look at it, that's more reason why we should be able to band together. We should be able to do more together too. Because right now, the world is looking for African content. We have the mineral resources. We have a lot. We're a land blessed by God. Do you understand? So we need to also use that to iterate the conversations that says that we should do more together. When we band more together as Africans, we're going to do a lot. We're going to take over. We're going to be bigger than China, than America, than all these countries.
So true. Yeah. Nima is always promoting local content. You know, Nima is the one that would encourage everybody to watch Nigerian film. Before you travel out, travel within. Let's have conversation around all of this. She's always pushing the narrative of let's appreciate what we have. But I also feel like we are beyond Nigeria. The beauty of watching the House of Ga was that the Oyo Empire extended all the way to Ghana. And similarly, we have some Nigerians who, when the Bakassi Peninsula was cut off, found themselves as citizens of Cameroon. Yet, I feel we will achieve more if we see ourselves as one. But what's your opinion on this separation, this identity, this thought of, like Amaka said, we're very aggressive. That maybe that's why they're not responding to us the way we expect them to.
No, we can't be apologetic. We are who we are. And they are who they are. And we don't all share history. Yeah, they are who they are. You can't have 5 kids, 10 or even 2, and they'll be the same. Everybody is unique and different, and the way they are. You know, when they say Nigerians are loud, they say it as if it's a negative thing. Nigerians are boisterous, Nigerians are clinical. They find the highest fraud stars in the world are not Nigerians, as opposed to what we see. Nigerian prince. People front with Nigerian pictures when they carry out fraud. They turn out to be Americans, Canadians, Chinese. They are the ones who control the cards business. They are the highest fraudsters. But we like it when they say, when they come to Africa, we want it to end up in Nigeria. And you blame us for being as hardworking and industrious as we are. Nigerians go somewhere and they make things happen. And no matter how many times the person calls you a bad name, if it is not your name, I don't even reply. Somebody will say to you, I think you're very pretentious. I'll look at you like this. That's your thinking. I don't bother to correct you. You're correct. Just carry it like that. So we can't live like that. We have different history. South Africans have a history of several years of abuse, several centuries of abuse, where their lands were hijacked, their people were killed, their mines were taken, and they've sort of loved their masters. It's a subtle thing. You know, Vuzi was saying yesterday, because I watched a lot of their videos, and one of their key persons, Vuzi, was talking about this and said, it's not apartheid one. Apartheid birthed xenophobia and Afrophobia. And South Africans don't sit down, look at their skin, and love themselves. They are apologetic people. They make excuses for every other thing but what they should love. So they are who they are, that they cannot come and shame us for who we are. We have our own internal problems. We're trying to be better. But Nigeria is not the fault of everybody in Africa, and they are not the cause of every problem in Africa. We are a unique set of people. When we come to South Africa, the economy of South Africa will work. If we go to London, their economy will work. If we go to America, their economy will work. As industrious people that we are. I have a very, very strong Nigerian behind a very tight security system in America doing amazingly well. Young Nigerian. We look at the creative. In fact, in South Africa that they do safe. Exactly. Their host. The main person. The host that hosts the show. Who make our clothes. All the clothes from it to
the 5 outfits were made by Nigerian designers.
Vicky made one. Somo and Dami did one. They're so close. So say Nigerians killing it. So those Nigerians too should go and hide. They should off flights.
No. So I know that Mariam has, you know, the challenge with Chidimma is that you've seen yourself, and she's discussed it extensively. So I want you to talk more about it, identity. And we have many Nigerians that are jackpine, giving birth to children in another country, who might end up one day wanting to do something, and they will remind you, your father is not a Nigerian. Your father is Nigerian. So why are you now saying you're Canadian? Why are you saying you are American? Why are you saying you are... Because right now, Chidimma is facing it. Chidimma is a South African. She speaks like them. The only country she knows is South Africa, and then she's reminded of the fact that her father migrated. And we are having many children who are going to be born and going through this situation in the next 20 years, less than 20, in the next 10 years, and they will have to deal with the reality of, who am I? Because where I'm from, I don't connect with them. And who I connect with, they say I'm not of them.
That is serious. That, you know, for me, that's why immediately all these things happened, I started following her page. And in my mind, I was just thinking of a young girl, you know, going through this, not even privately, but on international stage, that, you know, you have been nearly stripped off of your identity. You know, I went to go and look at her to see, does she even look Igbo? Does she look Yoruba? She looks South African. She sounds South African. She sounds like them. You know how they talk. And I'm like, this is the life that she's known all her life. And then today, you know, she's been stripped. She's been rejected by every South African. The blogs, everything. You've stripped that girl of her identity and therefore her confidence. I cannot imagine what mental state that girl must be in at this point. You understand? And of course, as you said, you know, she reminds me also of a lot of people, especially Nigerians, who are known to travel abroad, different places. You first go for the green pastures, you give birth to your children know nothing but the lives that they have right now. We see many of them now, American sounding Nigerians, British sounding Nigerians, and that's all that they know. They just know that they are Nigerians because maybe of their color or their ancestry. But you know what is sad about Chidimma's case is they also said that, I think the way there was a party or something of the way she celebrated her win, and they said, hey, you can see all the Nigerians around her. Why is she not with South Africans? And I'm saying, everybody has an ancestry. Even the white people that you have now accepted as your people, they have their ancestry. They still have like Dutch great-grandparents or Dutch cousins, things like that. And they're allowed that. But Chidimma is not allowed to hold on to her ancestry. She's not allowed to be part Nigerian or have a Nigerian father. She's supposed to be ashamed of it. Now, for me, this conversation, right, apart from the fact that I thought it was unfair to do this to Chidimma, I also wanted it to be, you have a call. Okay, I also wanted to really listen and hear what the problem is against Nigeria. Because for me now, I understood it's not just the fact that she's not South African. It's the fact that whatever her ancestry is, the fact that her ancestry is Nigerian is the problem. If her ancestry was anything else than Nigeria, they would have accepted her. So why was the Nigerian thing such a problem? And let's be fair, a lot of them put clippings of reports. There's lots of crime going on in South Africa. It is not just Nigerians committing this crime, but there is a lot of drug dealing happening with Nigerians. Nigerian drug dealers, Nigerian drug barons, and things like that. And so they feel they have accused that community of this group of people that do that. They've accused them of using their criminality to spoil their children and do all sorts of things.
Are you sure it's not a case of if we want to kill a dog, we'll call the dog the name that's convenient?
It just reminds me of America, where if you are black, whether you like it or not, if you like be good, if you like, you will continually be termed a certain name because of that. And I feel that that's what is happening to Nigerians in South Africa. Exactly. That it does not matter that it's one person or two people. All the other people doing amazing. Okay, let me just let you.
Yeah, so but I love your point. We have a caller calling from UK. I'd like to hear from you. Welcome to the show. Hello, welcome to the show. Can you hear? You're live. Tunde? Hello, Tunde, are you there? We cannot hear Tunde here in the studio, but I like what you said about, I like what you said, but I also feel that there were some people, I read comments of South Africans that supported her. There were South Africans that defended her. The South Africans that were wondering what exactly is going on here. And the sad thing is negative news thrives. Hate spreads. And maybe it started with just one or two people highlighting the fact that how can we have a Chidimma become Miss South Africa, and then suddenly every other person that has sort of repressed emotions about Nigeria came up to support it, and the few who support her, or maybe a lot that supported her, did not get enough airtime as those that were against her. But someone just put on YouTube about the fact that the same thing is happening in the UK now. Part of the crisis going on, there are UK citizens who are dark-skinned, especially Pakistanis, who are being attacked because of the color of their skin, and and these are UK people that were UK children that were born in the UK. The only thing they understand or know is that they are British citizens, and now they are being attacked or being labeled because of their heritage. How do we then you'll come to how do we fix? Because if Nigeria works, nobody would want to go now. See, if Nigeria is working, people want to. How many Americans are going to go?
It's not that because Nigeria is not working.
They want to
but majority is because it's not working now.
No, we leave. We go for education. We go for business. We go for marriage. See, her father married a Mozambican. Do you understand? So it's not always about our country is not working. Please.
It might just be.
See all the Lebanese in Nigeria, that Nigerian, Lebanese, Nigerian, Lebanese. It's not because
we allow them.
Yes.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we will talk more about how to build the sense of positive Nigeria. How do we say, there was a campaign then, great people, great nation. Maybe we need to revisit that campaign and see how we can wake it up and spread it across the world. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we've been talking about the Chidimma situation in South Africa, dropping out from being Miss South Africa, and then who became Miss South Africa, and just the lessons around identity, getting to know ourselves, love ourselves. And before we went on the break, I mentioned going back to the great people, great nation. I think it was Dora Akonyili that came up with that great people, great nation, pushing that narrative and selling that identity so that Nigerians are proud to say we are great people, we're a great nation. Yes, there might be some criminal elements and that are also Nigerians, but the majority of us truly are great people from a great nation. Maybe a rebranding thing might be the right strategy for us right now.
Yes, I think because true, when they talk about manifestations, it works. Yeah, you might be laughing, but
I believe in it.
Yes, from the little thing we bet bigger things, and when you believe something, it begins to manifest, and then nature aligns and gives it to you. I think so far in Nigeria for so long, for the past 8 to 10 years, we've been dwelling so much on the negatives. How about we become intentional about rebranding, pushing narrative, highlighting the good that we have, and then we build from there. There's an Igbo adage that says, "Eto dike na nkome omekwozo," meaning that when you greet or when you applaud somebody, for what they've done, they want to do more, right? When you encourage somebody that, oh, you've done well, they want to do more. So maybe we can now start highlighting and then create a competitive spirit between our lawmakers to want to do better. Like by the time they are highlighting and encouraging this person for doing this, another person wants to top that, another person wants to top that. Maybe we need to start pushing that.
Yeah, we have a call. Aisha has called in from Ijegun. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Oh, so sorry. So sorry. Yeah. There's a podcast I've been listening to. It's a term in psychology. People like us do things like this. When you push this identity thing, people begin to see themselves as we are great people. People like us, we do things like this. So if we push more of the negative parts of the things that are trending outside, see all the drug bust that just happened. Of course, they'll call Nigerian names, but most of them, we are just transit. It's coming from another country, either to this place or coming from another country through here to somewhere else. So the issues, the global challenges are far beyond Nigerians, and there are more Nigerians contributing to the growth of the world than pulling the world down with negativity. So if we say people like us, Nigerians, do great things like this, we might end up having more people celebrating the great things that we do. Mariam, I know you want to say something.
Yeah, I don't think it's even in this particular matter that it's Nigerians that are the problem. It's the South Africans that need to understand that being black...
I was trying to take it away from them.
No.
Them out too much.
No, it's not calling them out. I think they're still young as a nation, still young away from the colonialist grip and oppression. So it will take them a while. So I think for those of us who have been on this journey longer, we can use the opportunity to educate them and remind them, that there are people that they should be proud of their color and they have brothers and sisters. I always say, look how Oyimbos do it. You are white first before you are anything. Look at Elon Musk. He's South African. Based on their laws, he's South African. But he's in America doing wonderful things. They don't talk about whether they don't talk about whether he's South Africa or not. As far as he's concerned, that is a white man America. Yes, that's the thing with success. So for us Africans, it seems that when we see a co-African, a fellow African that is successful, instead of aligning, they say success has many friends, but we are not using that in Africa. Instead of aligning and being friends with this successful black person, we're all together. We would rather find ways to bring that black person down.
All right, so we have today called back from London. Welcome to the show. Good morning today.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, lady.
Good morning.
Yeah, I think I'll probably make a contribution to your discourse this morning. The first thing I want to say is that what happened in South Africa is not Chidimma's problem. It's a case of ignorance.
Ignorance.
Because the first thing we need to understand as human is that there's a difference between nationality and probably ethnicity or place of origin. Your nationality could be where you were born and what you have on your passport. and your origin has to do with your ancestors.
Oh, is that all? Oh, all right.
Maybe it's gonna- yeah, I was giving an example.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to respond to him?
No. I'm highlighting what he said, which is factually ancestry and the example you gave of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was also going to say Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah, his father is from Switzerland, right? And his mother is South African.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says anything. They call him South African.
Yeah.
So if his father was Nigerian, would they have had a problem with it?
that?
You know. So it's about Africans understanding that we're each other's, our brothers' keepers. We are first black people. The thing is, even Nigerians, we have that bad habit where you see we are first different religions before we are Nigerians.
Different.
Yes,
right.
You see, they'll be fighting in Arab countries. Nigeria will carry and be burning their fellow Nigerians. They'll be fighting in one religion will be fighting in another country. Nigerians will be burning each other here. So Africans, you need to rethink, who are we? Do you understand? Are we Arabs? Are we Muslims? Are we Christians before we are Nigerians? Or are we Nigerians first before this? So that's something I feel that we need to tell ourselves more. Africa as a whole, too, needs to do that. South Africa feels like they're in a place of honor. Things are working out well. So anything that's coming, any other country is here to just take out of our resources. For me, I also feel that's the propaganda lie that's sold to poor South Africans to make them feel that, people are coming to get from them. Meanwhile, the truth is, your masters are afraid that these people will come and open your eye, and you understand your power, and you demand for your right, even more than you're demanding for right now. I hear there's like a colony or a place in South Africa that Oyinbo people have kept for themselves by themselves, and only those white people work there, do everything there. You as a black person, you cannot go there in their own country. So those are the sort of things that you should be talking about and working against and trying to see that you grow from that instead of attacking fellow Africans who are just there to make sure that, we all win. Yes.
When you were talking, it just occurred to me this song, emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Yes.
Yeah. We need to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, and it starts with getting aware that there's mental slavery. Because sometimes it's unconscious. You just find yourself irritated by another person, and you find that we're hero worshipping what we shouldn't be hero worshipping because of what we've seen and we've been fed over the years. I support Amaka in manifesting. I support Amaka I'm a believer in affirmation. I believe that when you call yourself great, something in you will feel like there's a need to be great. So yeah, maybe we might not say it's for Nigeria alone, but we can call out the greatness of Africa. Yes. We can call out the unity of Africa. What exactly is Africa Union doing? What exactly why do we have African Union since whenever they were inaugurated? It was first OAU and then it became African Union, and yet we are not really united as much as we can be. Why would an African want to go to another African country and is applying and is getting denied visa? Like, I do not understand. If we see ourselves the way we are, that we are together, and that what we are fighting is not, we are fighting the common challenge of poverty, not ourselves, not scarcity. It might help us go.
Why do we even need visa to go to another African country?
Nigerians carry the matter for head.
I needed a place to, to find solace. Nigeria was home. We don't know whether another black man is from another place. If you see the way our borders are porous, it was not originally out of lack. Because if you see the foresightedness of our leaders in those days, you know that if we were like them, we would have put fence around our borders. It was because we believed those in West Africa were our brothers, and they should not have to travel through as others means to get here. You will see how easy it is to cross from the Niger here and marry here and claim here and cross back, and there was no border. Easily, yes. It is not all the time. When they tell you the meaning in their own terms, it's not always true. It is now that it's becoming a problem, and we're looking at, considering those lines drawn, those boundaries put there. When their people needed a place, our musicians at the time had no other theme in their songs but Free South Africa.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I grew up in primary school hearing it.
Yes. Everybody was singing about it.
But a mindset thief has stolen their mindset to see themselves and their skin and their heritage jointly shared as Africans to be lower. And they should do something about it. It's not anybody's assignment.
Okay, so let's take this phone call. Someone has called us, and I can't get it. Mohammed from Abuja, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chokwe.
Good morning, Mohammed.
This is like a dream for me of getting you people today.
Oh, wow.
I've been trying for 20 years.
We're happy for you.
I'm so happy I'm talking to the ladies of the view today.
Oh.
I just want to contribute to the topic of this issue of Chidimma, that the South Africans did not allow her to represent them. I want to look at it in case of what has happened in the past, especially the case of xenophobia. You see that South Africans have this fear of Nigerians dominating them. You know, we've had issues of the complaint about Nigerians coming to take over their economy, Nigerian pastors coming to take over their churches, and so many other things that led to those attacks at that time during xenophobia. So when this issue of Chidimma came up, especially for the fact that she's not even having a South African name, she's having two pure Nigerian names. So you can imagine if she wins the competition. And you know the way Nigerians used to troll South Africans on social media. They will start talking about it and making fun. I think that is why she was not allowed to contest. I'm sure they will even prefer an American, just like that white lady that came to win. They will prefer that one. Everything we talk here about African unity does not suffice for them, so long as it's respect of Nigerians. So that's the way I just look at it. Is that fear of Nigerian domination of South Africans? And even in entertainment, you see that the Amapiano that they brought, Nigerians are taking it over. So they are just having the eternal fear of Nigerians.
No, we didn't take it over. We're enjoying
it with them.
We're enjoying it with them, actually. Thank you so much, Mohammed. I want to go back to this powerful topic of identity and how to, just as a way to educate a lot of Nigerians that are obviously living all around the world. A lot of our viewers, actually, I was at the mall on Saturday evening and a man came to me and said, oh, I watch your show regularly. I just came from Holland that I watch your show from. This is a Nigerian man who obviously is living in Holland, probably has a family over there and all of that. When we come back, we'll take a break right now. When we come back, we'll talk about building, helping Nigerians in diaspora with the tools that can help them build a strong identity to withstand any attack from wherever they find themselves. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we've been discussing about South Africa, Nigeria. And someone put on our YouTube page that it's until we realize that South Africa, Nigeria needs to work together. If they're able to work together, that will then see the strength of Africa. They've always said Nigeria needs to wake up, South Africa needs to wake up. And like South Africans, as in South African blacks, need to wake up. Because when those two, as opposed to this constant competition and fight, come together, we will likely spur a level of growth across the entire Africa. But that's aside. What I want to even talk to, let us talk to our own people, our ambitious, hard-working Nigerians who have gone to seek greener pastures, contribute to economies of other countries around the world, who have given birth to children in other countries who might face this kind of situation where they are aspiring for a political position or aspiring to do something within those countries, and they are reminded of their heritage, that they are from Nigeria, and it is a negative thing. How do we help Nigerians in diaspora build a positive identity regarding Nigeria, especially for their children?
Okay, let me even use this Chidimma's case in question. Imagine that she wrote her profile again and said, I am Chidinma Adetshina, I have a Nigerian heritage, I am a born South African, I am a citizen of South Africa by so, and so. I am proud to be South African. Own your story. Don't let anybody shame you out of your story. Even when she stepped down, I felt that, the Nigerianness of our people, our thick skin.
No, they have body.
She allowed them to bully her. They bullied her. In any place you are, even in this our Nigeria, it's tough. We have our tribalism, our ethnicity. I spoke at Milaso on creating your identity, managing it and balancing it with academics in the society where I was once head myself, yes, on Saturday. And I remember speaking about, inclusion. understanding that we are not all just Muslims from a Yoruba tribe. You know, I spoke Yoruba from university. It was not a language allowed in my house because my parents thought, born in Lagos, don't lose your heritage. So the language at home was either you spoke in English, which is passable, or you spoke the Esako language, or you shut up. You know, and that way I learned my language. I see how if I applied it, my kids will speak too. And so they made sure. But I went to school and people would take it as a joke to remind me, which tribe again? We're called Kobo Kobo, Ajokutama Mumi, a lot of things negative. But what did I do with it? You must hear that language. I will tell, I'm full-blooded Esako girl. I don't have to apologize to you. You will don't see me pass by you and mistake my identity for yours because you think yours is better. I can tell you 1,010 times, even though I know that my people have their faults, why my own is better than your own. Because I am who I am. I cannot cut myself and regrind it and reblend it to be you. And that's, I cannot be sorry for being you. What I can do is, you know, respect your values, which I, you know, understand. Wherever you are, respect the language, respect their values. But don't allow anybody disrespect your own. That's the most important thing. And that's what I would say to any Nigerian, anywhere there in the world.
Okay, so I believe it's important to be intentional about community building, right? About building a community. If you're from a certain place, like in this kind of situation now, and you have a community, even if you want to step down or you're being bullied, there'll be a community that gives you support and then doesn't let that happen. You can't live in isolation, especially in situations that you've mentioned where you...
Diaspora. And Nigerians tend to do that thing.
Exactly.
You will not stay with
mind
Nigerians.
Business. People
I don't want anybody to know I am here.
Yes, and people say, I don't want to live where Nigerians live. I don't want to do where this, I don't. No, if you notice, people from other countries, that immigrants, they band together. They are strong on community. And so Nigerians need to, instead of saying, oh, I don't want to be associating with Nigerians are known for example, you build a community. If you're intentional about building a community, you have the support system when the need arises. If Chidimma had a community, she won't step, they won't let her be bullied. Because if she had passed through the whole process of actually being able to contest, why is she stepping down? Okay. Right? So, yes, so community building, yeah, you have to be intentional about that.
I hear you both, but I also feel that when her mother was dragged into it, I'm sure she decided to put family first. You know, sometimes they say we lose the battle, we win the war, or something like that.
Let me take our last caller. We have just a few minutes left on the show. Shegun, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, we have a few minutes left, so just go for it.
Yes. Good morning, Tope.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm very happy we've all spoken well. But at the same time, we are all guilty. We are all guilty in the sense that we need to change our orientation. How do we package ourselves? When within our country, we are busy destroying ourselves. We are in a zoo. Nigeria is a zoo. Nigeria is not country. Nigeria is this. How do we package ourselves to the outside world? Americans, you never see them in America saying, America is this, America is that. It's the way you present yourself to the world, that's what they will say. Because when we are growing up, our point is that when we are growing up, any country we go, we are so respected. Sure. Yes, this, that, they're even afraid of, these people, they are good, they are this, they have money, that. But nowadays, because of the way we present ourselves to the look, we go social media, Nigerians have to be destroying Nigeria. We don't have a country. Nigeria is a zoo. Nigeria is this and that. It's very wrong. So the outside world, they are watching us and they are listening. That's why we are going toward kind of humiliation all over the world.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shegun. We need to speak right about ourselves. Mariam, you were talking about brought in the family.
Yes,
your final words.
Yes. So for me, you know, I just wanted to show Chidimma grace. I don't think she was weak by stepping down. I think she showed strength in doing that. She has never denied her ancestry, her father being Nigerian, else it wouldn't have been a thing. She proudly bears the name Chidimma. She's not bearing a South African, you know, a South African name. So this is a person that is proudly South African and also understands that her father is Nigerian. I think our conversation is really to the people of Africa generally, particularly South Africa in this case, you know, that we should remember that we're one. And if a child has lived in your country and has a citizenship that has been approved by your constitution, then what you have done, you've done a great disservice by bullying that child and stripping her of her identity. She didn't deserve that.
Okay, so my final take for Nigerians should go and support Chidimma. I also feel like Nigerians in diaspora should give their children the gift of the history of Nigeria, not the propaganda, not the social media trends, not what is in the news today, but give them the gift of knowing the history of their country. Let them know about the women, let them know about the men, the great warriors, the amazing things that Nigerians have done from time immemorial till date. It will help to strengthen that identity. I also think we need to give our children the gift of their language. Help your children understand their language. It's a part of forming who they are. Let me say, I know where I'm from. I know whose I'm from. I might be living wherever I am around the world, but I understand, I have an identity. I know that we might have migrated based on whatever it is, but there's value in where I'm coming from, and I have that value inherent in me. I think it will go a long way. As adults, I'm just learning a lot about history. I didn't study history in school. I was a science student. I felt like it was a disadvantage, but now I'm learning and I'm teaching my children. Let's do the same as well. It's been an amazing show so far. Is there any comments? I think we have time to take just 1 or 2 comments on social media before we round off.
I'd really like to take this one. He said, when South Africa got their independence, a public holiday was declared and Mandela was released from prison. There was a public holiday declared in Nigeria. South Africans should know this. I don't want to say
history. Same thing. Knowing your history.
Yeah. They too, they should know their history.
Should we take more?
Yeah, you can take one more.
Okay, Chidimma will be fine. She has a Nigerian blood flowing in her.
Yeah. The spirit of resilience. The spirit of resilience. You know, the Rwanda was able to heal because they understood the history. They do not ever stop talking about what happened to them. Because as long as we know where we're coming from, we are sure it will never happen again. So history is very important. South Africans should know their history. All Africans should know their history. Study about where you're from. If you're from Oyo, go and know about what happened in Oyo. If you're from Zaria, know what happened in Zaria. There's something about your location that is a strength for you. Let's do that this week. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our audience. See you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.